You're listening to the Six Figure Trucker, brought to you by Norton Transport, and thank you for joining us for this brand new Drivers of the Year series. We hope you enjoy these bonus episodes, and maybe we'll see you in the winner's circle real soon with a fat check in hand. And some of these drivers will be stopping by the office for some festivities, photo ops, and that fat check. Now, this is one, of course, our drivers richly deserve for all they do for Norton Transport. Let's go. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Six Figure Trucker, brought to you by Norton Transport. And you guys know each and every week we lift up, we elevate, and celebrate the drivers that make this company go round and round. And if you've been listening, we've had some bonus episodes coming in for our Drivers of the Year. Now, the Drivers of the Year, we've got 12 of them company-wide. Now, that's out of about 1,500 drivers. But we have 12 because they are 6 dispatch teams, and they have 2 drivers per team, 1 non-CDL and 1 CDL. Now, our recipients, our honored guests that we have here that have dropped in the office today are Mark and Michele Schleier. They have been on the podcast before. Welcome, both of you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, where did you guys drive in from?
We were home for the weekend.
And home is?
Livonia.
Gotcha. Livonia, Georgia.
We were able to, over the weekend with a truck that we picked up on Friday and got it delivered in Duluth this morning. So we took 75 north and popped here into Ringgold.
Didn't know you were that close, I guess, to the office?
It was planned. Yeah, we planned on this last week.
Okay.
We were going to make the delivery.
Gotcha. Not surprising you guys had a plan in place.
It all started with our dispatcher who set me up with that load on Friday afternoon or Friday morning, I think. But
and wouldn't luck have it that dispatcher is sitting right here, dispatch team lead, Megan Elliott. Megan, tell us, what was it about the Schleiers that said, they deserve the recognition and the honor?
It's all about the Canada buses for us. I mean, anytime that we really needed help moving those buses and needed someone dependable that we knew could make it across the border, passports, we could always count on Mark and Michele.
Now, the Canada buses, are those still ongoing, or have they knocked out quite a few of them?
We've knocked out quite a few of them, but I'm sure some more are coming down the pipeline.
And how do you guys feel like you want to take some more buses up to Canada?
oh yeah,
Absolutely.
nice little bonus usually it goes with them.
Those are
And
good
when we get
loads.
into Canada, they send us to Beaubrion over near Montreal, and we're able to bring some back out. So it's
trucks.
it's a great if you're a tow a vehicle, it's kind of a sweet deal because then it drops you into the Northeast where there's other loads available. So minimize that travel between loads.
Yeah, kill the deadhead, and it's a win-win.
There
Right.
you go.
Absolutely. Now, you were talking about, Megan, that it was the Canada loads and the dependability and the reliability of the Schleiers to make that come through, but I'm sure that there were more things that came into your decision and the team's group decision.
Yes. So one situation that popped into my mind in particular, I think something that sets off a great driver versus a driver of the year is someone who also is willing to do us a favor when we need it done. So I remember one time we had a truck that was stuck at a way station in Pennsylvania because a driver didn't have a passenger endorsement and they couldn't leave without it. And I called Mark and I'm like, Mark, I really need you to do me a favor. And he said, okay, what is it? I'll do it if we can make it work. So we figured out how to make it work, and Mark went and got the truck from the way station that day and delivered it. So situations like that really stick out in my head. And then, of course, the professionalism of Mark and Michele, and always knowing that they represent Norton the way we want to be represented.
That's a great story, Mark and Michele, and the fact that you guys could turn around and do a solid in a day. Were you guys in that particular scenario? Did you leave from Georgia to get to Pennsylvania?
I think we're in North Carolina. Actually, I think Michele was on the other side of the country. We tend to split up when they're good
Occasionally.
loads, and so I think Megan stuck her on a UPS truck or something going to somewhere out west. And yeah, I basically was able, I think I was actually maybe heading home, and I turned it around. It was actually a school bus that was left there, which is why it was the passenger endorsement for the school bus that went on up into Canada. So, you know what? I mean, it's a big family, and it's dynamic in that we all rely on each other. You know, we need Norton to have the loads, and we need Norton to appreciate us so that they reach out to us and able to empower us to go make money. And when you get an opportunity to do a return and you know, thank the big guys, then you know it's an honor. And we can't always do it. She hit me last week with the port opportunity, and Michelle was flying in from California. I had to pick her up Saturday morning. I just, you know, if we can do it, we'll do everything we can to do it. But if we can't, I mean, it's, you know, but anyway, it's an honor, though, is what I guess I'm trying to say. It's an honor to be able to serve.
We appreciate that. I mean, the fact that you view it as an honor to do us a favor. I mean, I guess that goes back to what you were talking about, the family feeling, the family atmosphere, and, you know, like in any family, it takes everybody pitching in. I guess, is that the way you see it
yeah.
also, Michelle?
Yeah, and it's nice to be thought of because, like you say, there's 1,500 drivers, and you know, just the fact that, you know, if she feels like she can pick up the phone and call us and ask us that there's a chance we can help out, you know, that makes us feel special.
You know, we laid the numbers out there as far as number of drivers, 12 drivers of the year. Obviously, you're in select company. That's got to make you guys, I'm sure it makes you guys feel respected, feel good.
Absolutely.
Good, yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
we were shocked.
How did you
But
get
it
the
was a good
news, and what were
feeling.
you guys doing when you got the news?
Megan told me. We had called, we were talking, and she said she had called me, and I was on another line with another call, and I called her back, and she said, "Oh, I was just calling to kind of tell you some good news, and you know, you guys have been awarded Drivers of the Year," and I was just really shocked. And then I hadn't had a chance to tell Mark, but somebody called him. And
Megan called. And then I said, "Oh, hang on a second. Let me connect." You know, because she had
was
told me
Megan?
what it was,
Okay.
and so I'm like, "Oh no, we gotta do this together." And I didn't know you already knew, but anyway, that's exciting. I mean, when you
It
want to
is.
include your spouse and your driver manager.
Now, for you guys that are joining us here on the Six Figure Trucker, brought to you by Norton Transport, this is a special episode when we were recognizing and honoring our Drivers of the Year. This is Mark and Michele Schleier, who you may have heard before. They have a very interesting story within driving and outside of driving, and it was Megan who introduced the Six Figure Trucker to them because of their special situation. I mean, they're not what we would call run-of-the-mill drivers. They've got a very unique, special story. And tell us about how you came across it from your interactions with them and introduced us to them.
Well, I guess it all started when Mark was letting me know that he wouldn't be able to take loads that week because he had a flight test. And I was like, a flight test? So he told me all about how he's in the process of getting his pilot license. And then I think after that, you got brought on, right, Michelle? Y'all didn't come on at the same time. So then Michelle came on, and then it was this whole new great dynamic between us where Michelle kind of skyrocketed their driving for Norton.
That kind of, you know, it leads us into it there. And, you know, Megan is here joining us, as are the Schleiers here at Norton Transport here in the office. And Megan, I saw your phone's going off there. We probably need to let you slide back to booking loads. But just one last thing, just wanted to say what the Schleiers, you know, not just as drivers, but as people, what they mean to you.
They mean so much. It's relationships like I have with the Schleiers that make me love being a dispatcher. It's the being able to make relationships with our drivers and show them like how Norton cares for our drivers. I think that's what sets us apart from other companies. Just being able to have those relationships and really care about our drivers. So.
And what's it like for you guys having that same type of relationship with Megan?
It makes all the difference in the world. Her and her team the fact that we can call them and ask them to be on the lookout for certain loads going certain places, and they help us out at every turn. We work for another company that they didn't care whether we took a load or not, and they were no help to us. We no longer work for them, but but no, it's just a joy working for them. And Megan's just so sweet every time we talk to her, and getting to know her and her little family now, and it's just really special.
The dynamic of the history that Megan mentioned involved. I was with doing doubles and triples. I've been 12 years doing this, and my wife quit her job and came on, new CDL driver, but she had to start with Norton non-CDL to get 10,000 miles. And it took a long time because we didn't get serious about it. And we had our previous dispatcher, when Megan came in, Megan was such a great encourager and just kind of was able to paint a picture of how improved it would be for us, and especially you, when you got that 10,000 mile hurdle out of the way, get the insurance requirements met. And that's when things really exploded. So that's what Megan did for us in terms of really elevating us to this. And we were having conversations of, are we going to leave Norton? Because we couldn't get the miles, couldn't get the trips. And she was able to kind of give us a vision to get us past that. So I think drivers out there listening to this that are in that same, how do I get 10,000 miles? I mean, buckle down and get it done. Talk to your dispatchers. Let them know that's a priority for you, and that you want to join this realm of success and really turning miles and making money, and stay with it. But thank you, Megan.
Yes.
All right, we're going to have to let Megan get back to work. Right. Thank you, Megan, for joining us, and thanks for the nomination of a very deserving couple, the Schleiers here. Today also, Mark, is a big day for you. Or was it yesterday that with your pilots?
Oh, I've got that. Yeah, it was a final check ride sign off by my flight instructor. So I've got March the 8th, if weather's permitting, I'll be able to finally take my check ride and get the license. And we already own the plane. We already have it at our house. So it's that part of the miracle, but I can't take any passengers. So we got to get that out of the way so that Michele can take trucks, buses, motorhomes, whatever, going to Alabama or Florida or wherever, and I can just fly and pick her up and eliminate some of that driving that we're fond of. But the miles that don't pay, the return miles, the deadhead, we'll have a little more fun and make that a little bit quicker.
It gives new meaning to chase vehicle.
Yes. Chase or bomb vehicle. I can take her out at any time I want to.
You're listening to Mark and Michele Schleier here, who are joining us on the bonus episode. You may have heard them before on the podcast. They have a very fascinating story. Not only do they drive together, but of course, as Mark has alluded to, he's working on his pilot's license, getting it up to date. He only has one final test to go. And also, you guys have unique accommodations, if I recall correctly from the podcast. Michele, tell us a little bit about that.
Well, we have a airplane hangar that we are building an apartment in that will be our home. And while we're building it, we are living in our motorhome inside the hangar. So, yep.
What's that like?
That's it's working out really nice. I mean, the motorhome's real nice. It's big enough for us. Of course, we're on the road so much that we're not there a whole lot, but hopefully that's going to change a little bit. Mark will be home a little bit more to finish our apartment, but
how far along are you, Mark, as far as getting the apartment finished?
Oh, we're framed out, so we still have all the rough ends and finals, but time-wise, we keep saying we're hoping by the holidays, but hopefully we'll be moved in at the end of the year, this year.
What's it like living in a hangar?
Well, I mean, for me, it's wonderful, and it's a dream come true. For Michele, it's maybe not quite as great. We got to get her. We got to get the house part done because she's going to have her studio in there. She loves doing artwork and pottery work with a kiln, and so she's looking forward to having her set up, one of her dream come trues. And being a licensed builder, I'm able to kind of pull those strings, pull that stuff together, and be able to put together a nice home inside a home that will give us both balance and kind of an area to be and do what we love.
That's awesome. That's fantastic. And from what you guys are describing, this is not your typical college student apartment. I'm assuming it's got many more features than that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a crazy kind of a setup, but it's $1 million type hangars are our neighbors. So I mean, this is a high end. It'll be a high end executive hangar when we get finished with it. But we're doing it on a cash basis, so it's not going to cost that much to do it. But we're doing all the equity, all the sweat equity to get it done as well. But
now, Michelle, you came into driving, if I remember correctly. You worked in a very professional background, professional job, kind of in the corporate world. Is that correct?
I was an insurance agent.
Okay. I remembered that you had done a lot of, had worked professionally in the corporate world there. What was it, Mark? I remember, I'm trying to recall all the factors that led your decision, but you really wanted to drive.
I never thought about it until I met Mark. When we were dating, I would meet him on the road in areas, and, he would talk to me about going across country and, just going and seeing all the different places he saw, and not having to worry about and stress about, being in the office and this and that. And it just, with the whole COVID thing, it just kind of really made everything a disaster with.
Right.
Of course, we all know how that went, but so I was kind of burned out with everything, and I thought that just sounds like a dream to get out of the office and just go, be like free as a bird. And so I kept questioning, and I said, that sounds like something that I might really enjoy because I love to travel anyway. And he didn't know whether to take me serious or not, but I said, how hard is it to get a CDL? And he said, are you serious? And I went ahead and did it. My family thought I was absolutely nuts, but yep, I got my CDL, and we've just been going for it ever since.
Just burning up the roads ever since?
Yes, yep.
Was there sort of a romanticism to it as far as being on the road, seeing great things with your husband?
Probably, yeah, that's probably part of it too. Yeah, because I wasn't on my own. I had him to kind of help me along. I wasn't starting from scratch like, some people. So he was my mentor, I guess you'd say. But yeah, and then to go with him, we stop and we can stay an extra few days or whatever and see what we want to see, and that makes it a lot more special.
Sure.
Yeah.
What's it been like for you, Mark? I mean, I know she's sitting right beside you, so this is going to be a good answer here.
I think for people starting to do this, leaving a career as a second career, kind of ending the final year, so to speak, I think it just adds an excitement back to work and a purpose, seeing things. For us, it's great because we can spend time together. We finished load one of the school buses, actually, the one set that we couldn't get coming out with buses out of Montreal. We ended up near Niagara Falls. So we did a high-end, off-season motel room overlooking the falls that you just, nobody gets to go into Canada and just have those kind of opportunities unless you plan it months in advance. I mean, for us, it was, I think, a 2-day notice. We actually booked the motel when we were there. Mm-hmm. So anyway, adventures like that. She was able to take advantage, I think one of her greatest trips with the driving program with family, with your children and with your family members. She was able to take her granddaughter in the school bus. I drove a school bus as well. We both drove all the way out to California. She had her granddaughter with her, and I was by myself. I got out there. I had to go pick up another load for Megan going somewhere. So I flew back home, and she just continued, picked up a load, I think, going from California up to Oregon, and then somehow worked her way back across to Wisconsin, and then down to. So anyway, there's
home out in Indiana and drove it back home.
Gotcha. So it's there are
Went to the
opportunities
parks and-
to expand the stuff you never think you're going to get to do. So
What was it like, Michelle, with, a spontaneous thing to be able to see Niagara Falls
Oh,
from a
gosh.
great vantage point?
That was a dream. I mean, we just left the curtains open all night, and it's just right there. All the light things at night, and it was just breathtaking. And you go any other time of year, and it's crazy because it's so expensive. But we got to hit it at the right time, and
And
It
3
was-
days before, you had no
Yeah.
idea it was going to happen.
no, it was just perfect. It was beautiful.
That's got to lead to the excitement of this, because you guys are really big on planning, but there are some things that are just meant to be, or surprises that come down the pipe. It's like, hey, this is going to be fun. How would you guys, we talked about this when you guys were on the Six Figure Trucker earlier, but how would you pitch this to, say, a couple in the same position as you guys, where you're thinking about going a different direction in your professional life? How would you pitch it, Michelle?
Oh, I would just say go for it. If you could do it together, especially, it's just such a treat. It's because there's times we can go separate if we want to, but we can go together, and we can stop along the way. We've got family in other states. We can see family. We can see things. We can plan ahead and see places and stop along the way, and we can go when we want to. If we want to make plans, we just, we've let Megan know before, hey, Megan, look, we're not going to be available next week. Got this going on, and she's great with that. So it just fits into your lifestyle. It gives you the freedom to be able to do things that I never could have done working in the office, because you're so limited with time off and having to work around other people and things like that. And it's just been an awesome experience.
Mark, would you say, would it be a stretch to say every day is just a different adventure?
yeah, it's adventure. I would say challenge, because you can't blindly go into it. Just, oh, there's one going to Memphis. I want to go see Elvis. Well, you don't take that necessarily unless you've got something in Arkansas or somewhere down in Texas that you could pick up and go somewhere else again. So it's a leapfrog, connect the dots if you're a planner. But something else I think that people need to know is that for a couple that want to work 80% of the year, I mean, it's a six-figure opportunity. So it's not like just one big vacation and everybody's having fun. You're making money, and you're it's crazy to think that we can pay $600 a week in doing motel stays. And that's a huge annual burden, but we're doing it, and we're making bank, and I've got an airplane, and we're continuing a lot of these other dreams, and some people try to sleep in their cars and have much more hardship. And I don't know why you would do that when it's easy if you just plan it right and get up, get going at 4 or 5 in the morning, and get your work done, get your miles done. Plan when you hit cities, so you don't hit rush hour, and look, shop gas prices. God, that's a huge thing.
That's a big thing.
There's $1 a gallon difference when you cross into Illinois out of Missouri, and that kind of stuff. So there's a learning curve, and I remember in my earlier days, 15 years ago when I started, and I remember with Michelle, you get through 2 years, you learn and you figure it all out, and then you become competent, and you're able to really be a champion and be successful, which is what we're all trying to be. And, being courteous and having a family type thing, having great, having our great team of dispatchers with Megan and her team. Anyway, but it's Michelle talked about, this leap of faith or trying to get the courage to do it. I'm amazed that more people don't do it. I think there's so many unanswered questions in their mind of what it pays and how are you going to pay your bills and how are you going to take care of things. Well, if you can manage your time and your money, you can, again, 6 figures was easy for us last year. And Michelle hit it hard. She's probably full-time, and I was maybe 75% of the time. So she did a lot of trips by herself, crisscrossing the country. And you can do that when you have confidence and you've got the finances, and she's an expert at finding really good deals. She'll fly back from California back to Georgia for $145, which is nuts. But you got to find it. You got to be willing to do the Spirit and the and
Frontier.
planning it. So I mean, it's one thing to get in. It's another thing to become a master of figuring things out and trying to really make it profitable. But that's what I would encourage.
I really kind of focused down on what you said. After 2 years, you can become a champion at it. Great word choice, and that really kind of lays it out there for people listening. I mean, give it a chance.
Well, and here we are today, unexpecting to come here and to be given this wonderful, $1,000 bonus that we're going to spend on a cruise. Michelle's never been on a cruise. That's exciting to be able to do that. But I think that's where the word champion came from is, she's been doing this for under 2 years. She's not had her CDL in 2 years. And to think you can come into a Norton transportation rather, and in less than 2 years be one of their drivers of the year. My hat's off to Michelle. I mean, I've been doing this a long time, and I've been the one saying, I don't want to go this week. No, I don't want to work. I want to fly the airplane or work on this or work on that. And she's pushed us and encouraged us. So the junior of the two members of our team has really been the champion. But putting all that together, get in and get going, get busy, and be the champion that brings you to the Driver of the Year award, and which is a wonderful honor. But it's there. Go get it.
Mark and Michele Schleier, Drivers of the Year on Megan Elliott's team. Thank you so much for jumping in, and you answered my last question. What are you going to do with the money? You're going on a cruise.
Yep, can't wait.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.